Hello, my name is Dr. Marin Bozic. I'm assistant professor at the University of Minnesota, also the architect of UDM Direct. I am very excited to present to you today a single table that has all global dairy products prices at weekly frequency. As analysts, as procurement managers, in whichever role, sales manager perhaps, in whichever role you serve in your company, you know that you have to track prices from around the world. In the United States, Dairy Market News produces 24 different articles. From Germany, we have South German Butter and Cheese Exchange in Kempten. European Energy Exchange produces indices for butter, whey, milk powder, and most recently, liquid milk as well. In Poland, there is a milk market report as well. Here's the most recent one. In Netherlands, again, very important auction, price discovery, center of price discovery, one of the centers of price discovery for butter, for whey, and skim milk powder. Global dairy trade, of course, a bi-weekly auction that is very closely monitored. And then the list goes on and on. For example, France Agrimer for French prices, separate report for United Kingdom, and then of course there are others that I'm not mentioning here individually. How cool would it be to have a single table that has all of this data and it has it in a unit you would like to choose? Today, for the first time, UDM Direct is introducing such a table. I'm going to illustrate it first, and then we'll do an exercise of building one. Take a look at this dashboard. This one is designed for analysts that track whey markets. We have here in one table all of the relevant dry whey, whey protein concentrate, and lactose prices from all public sources around the globe. So we have CME prices, we have all the prices from Dairy Market News, National Dairy Product Sales Report, also United States, then Global Dairy Trade, Dutch Dairy Board, French report, we have the Polish report, German report, then European Energy Exchange, and then of course international prices from Western Europe as reported by Dairy Market News in United States, USDA. US analysts, they love to look at these prices using imperial measures, dollars per pound. Analysts in Europe, they like to look at these prices in euros per metric ton. Using this query, you can choose which units you want to have. You can, with a click of a button, change which units you select in the process of building a dashboard that is designed just for you. A custom dashboard. It will not take you more than 20 minutes to build it. Build it once, use forever. So what I would like to do today is go through a process of introducing this table, and maybe we can build together one of the dashboards as well. The name of the table is UDM Report Global Dairy Products Prices Weekly. So these are only weekly prices, panel latest. Okay, so let's open recent sources and connect. We'll type in global, select global dairy products prices, weekly panel latest. I first want to show you what happens if you don't use any filters, if you just click load. This is one of the recent innovations we have introduced. In this case, the table will simply load 10,000 most recent records. The table loaded the most recent 10,000 records, sorted by date in a descending order. So the most recent data will be for November 21st, week ending November 25th. Now, because this is a table containing international data, the week ending is standardized to be Sunday. In the United States, we like to look at week ending as ending on Saturday. A lot of reports would be designed that way. In this case, all the week endings are dates falling on Sunday. Let's take a look at the fields present in this table. Serious and serious name translated are the names of the variables. Serious for time series. All of these are time series, variable tracked through time. we, as you most of you know already, we always record data, serious names in their original language. Some of the data we have in this table will be in German, in French or Polish languages. We will work with the assumption that when you build your final dashboard, you will probably prefer to have all the names in the same language, and serious name translated will offer you that opportunity. Area name and area name translated, similarly, if there are any areas, provinces, whatever may come down the road that is not in English or maybe not even in a Latin alphabet, the serious name, the area name translated will have it in anglicized letters and the English translation. Unit name, this and original or converted units are two new columns. We did not typically have these columns in our tables, and we have never before had them designed in such a way that you can have the same series for the same report period in two different rows, in two different records, one with each unit. Let me illustrate with an example. So let's say that we are contemplating the data from Dutch Dairy Board. So this is the original report name. I've filtered on that, and you can see, and let's also filter to show only the most recent data. So only data from November 25th, and I will want to choose only skim milk powder. So what you see here is and let's sort this by, so these four rows are all the same series, all the same time period. Where these four rows are different are the units in which the data is presented. So you have a choice of loading the data, using the data in euros per 100 kilograms, euros per metric ton, dollars per pound, or dollars per metric ton. Only one of these units is originally used in the report by Dutch Dairy Board. That's euros per 100 kilograms. You can see that in the report that I've pulled out here. This is the skim milk powder, food grade, and the original unit is 162 euros per 100 kilograms. This is the most recent data. If we look at it in the report here, that is the number, 162 euros per 100 kilograms. But perhaps we want to have the data more comparable across series. So we will want to standardize the units so that all the series from around the world, no matter what the unit the data was originally published in, we will want to have all of that in dollars per pound if we're sitting in Kansas City analyzing the data, or maybe if we are in Netherlands, in Amsterdam, looking at this data, maybe we'll want to have all of the data in euros per metric ton. UDM now has clients on 4 continents, from Australia, New Zealand, in Asia, Europe, and then of course United States as well. Different clients, different needs, different preferences for units. We want to serve all of them. So now we are introducing new tables where clients can themselves choose the unit in which they want to see the data. If you prefer to have all the data in their original units, you still can do that. That was the default and the only option before, but now in order to do that, you would just select the data to be in original units. We will not do that here though. I'm going to clear this filter. In fact, let's clear all the filters, and I want to show you the other fields in this table. Report name translated, publisher name translated, and publisher name short. These 5 fields are not there in order to be used in your final implementation, in your final dashboard. In my examples that I've offered at the beginning of this video, I did not have those publisher names and report names, etc. And those are static data, and once you get familiar with the data, they're really not informative anymore. But they are really informative when you're first searching for a particular subset of variables from everything that this table has to offer. So maybe you will say, hey table, please display everything that is published by the Polish Ministry of Rural Development. And here it is. Now you can see that we have data for Gouda, for whey powder, butter, skim milk powder, etc., etc., etc. So by selecting on one of these fields, you can create subsets of data very quickly if you care to do that. Another column that will allow you to very quickly create subsets that are meaningful. When you compare data globally, you typically choose one commodity, and then you look at different reports all for the same commodity. In UDM jargon, that's called a category, and so we can choose the category to be either anhydrous milk fat or butter, casein, caseinates, cheese, different kinds of cheese, of cheddar, Edam, Gouda, etc., lactose, skim milk powder, etc. The advantage of this is that it allows us to quickly trim the data to only those variables that we care for. In the example that I will walk you through today, we will construct dashboard for skim milk powder reports from around the world. The report period is the date marking the end of the week that is being reported. The week ending is the standardized date or Sunday of that same week. Publication date is the date on which the report was published. In most of the cases, report period and the publication date will be the same. There will be, however, some reports when that is not the case. For example, National Dairy Product Sales Report in the United States is issued on Wednesday, and it reports the data through last Saturday. So there will always be a lag of 1 week there. So this is the original table without any filters. Again, only 10,000 most recent rows, and that will, in this case, give you the data for about last 4 months. So if you care about nothing else, if you only care to create some manipulations in Excel later, some pivot tables, you don't even have to filter it. You can load the entire table unfiltered, last 10,000 rows, and then manipulate it within Excel after it's loaded. Typically, that may not suffice because we want to have longer time series. And let's see how we can create a dashboard of skim milk powder prices from year 2000 onward. So very, very long time series. So I will click on query and then edit. I'm using, by the way, a PC computer. This is Excel 2016 with the this used to be called Power Query in Excel 2010 and 2013. Now it's just a get and transform functionality of Excel, regular part of Excel. So let's start by first removing the columns we know we will not need at all. So we will not need, for our purposes, we will not need publisher name translated, publisher name, report name translated, report name. That can all be removed. Publisher name short can be removed. The report publication date, we will not need that. We will work only with week ending and week number. We will not care about the area name. We will use area name translated only. And we will not care about serious name. We will use serious name translated. So we can just remove all other columns and trim the table, make it more manageable. Then we can select the category name to be only skim milk powder. We are only interested in skim milk powder in our example here, and we perhaps want to have the entire table in euros per metric ton. We can trim the table further now. We no longer need a category. We no longer need the column indicating whether these units are original or converted. and we can trim the serious name translated. Perhaps we want to exclude some of the variables that are not of our primary interest. For example, Dairy Market News publishes the range, low, high range, and then UDM calculates the midpoint. Perhaps we're interested only about the midpoint, so we will remove the highs and lows and leave only the midpoints. So we will repeat that for all non-fat prices, high, low, mostly high, mostly low. And we will also remove the non-fat dry milk prices from NDPSR, the use for final class prices. They will be the same as the preceding variable. There are some technical differences between them that occur when the week is revised after it was already used for calculating announced prices. In most applications, the price series that it ends with use for final class prices is not very relevant. So we can exclude that one here as well, and we will leave everything else. Also, let's see. California manufacturing plants non-fat dry milk price is no longer published as of the end of October 2018. That series has been discontinued, but perhaps we want to leave it just for some historical comparisons. Click OK. We wait a little bit. Data is being pulled from the cloud. OK. Let's beautify the table a little bit more. Week ending can be translated, can be transformed to date. We will merge the serious name and serious name translated. Transform, merge columns, and the separator will be dash space dash space. We want to add the unit name as the final part of the new column header, but we want the unit name to be in parentheses. So we will select the unit name, format, add prefix, opening parentheses, add suffix, closing parentheses, and then again merge these two columns using space as separator. Okay, before we pivot, we want to sort the merge name alphabetically. This will ensure that all the data from the same publisher will have been put together for the most part. For example, all of the data from Global Dairy Trade will be in consecutive columns. We also want to round the value column when we are presenting data in euros per metric ton. It really makes no sense to look at 100s or even further subdivisions of euros. So let's remove that. Select the merge column and pivot with values being in the value column, and we will not aggregate. And there we have it. The data is now pretty much ready to be imported. We can do one final look. First, we can sort descending by week ending. This is the CME non-fat dry milk extra grade spot price. This one is not longer being published, and it hasn't been for a few years now. So we can delete that column as well. And I think we are ready. So let's close and load. And the data is loaded. Now the next step will be to prettify the column. We want to go from this very raw display as it's currently shown to something that looks very neat and organized, like this dashboard here. It will take us only a few steps to get there. First, we will choose a different design. We will choose a design that does not impose any color scheme on us. Then we will normalize the column width to 936 is my preferred width. We will make everything gray at first, then navy blue for title. Title will be wrapped, week ending extended, week reduced, and we are ready to roll. All of the prices from around the world for skim milk powder from half a dozen different reports: Poland, Germany, France, European Energy Exchange, European Union Director General for Markets, Global Dairy Trade, USDA, different branches of USDA. In 20 minutes, we have created a dashboard that comprises all of that in a single unit, and it's self-updating. Let's assume that we did not have the latest week here. Next week, you open this file again. Let's assume that we did not have the most recent data. We come in, we open the file again, click refresh, and after a short wait, the new data has been inserted. The table is ready for analysis. You're ready to start tracking the markets. If you had charts connected to this table, the charts would be updated as well. You're ready to start writing the report for management or making trading decision on creating your own price list or wherever the next task in your business it is. So to summarize, for the first time, UDM is offering you a single table that will have all the data prices from around the world, as long as they're weekly prices, for all dairy products. Single table to rule them all. And in a short period of time, you can design your own custom dashboards, or you can call us. We would be happy to do that for you as well. Thank you for listening, and I hope you will enjoy the new UDM report, Global Dairy Products Prices Weekly Table.